this is where I go for fellowship, and I don't have this where I live. This isn't around, and I'm hardly ever there. So it's really hard to like make friends because I never get to see anyone. You know, when I'm home, I'm pretty much chewing on ribs and elbows and knees and feet. You know, and throwing little people up in the air. So I don't get out much when I'm home because I'm always out when I'm not.
Tell everybody about your family.
Well, they're incredible. We're the Page family circus at this point. We're well on our way to becoming the Partridge family, and got 2 boys, 2 girls, and we got 1 on the way. My oldest is turning 6 in December, if that tells you anything. So they're all real close together.
So when you are together.
Once in a while, you know, when I'm on shore leave, I go home and refresh the missus, and we have a baby a year later. No, she's awesome. She's the reason all this is possible at all. And she's making her own laundry detergent now, and she's making hemp milk. This is my wife we're talking about, Miss Corporate Executive in DC. And now she's, you know, barefoot and pregnant and making hemp milk. Oh, sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, she's amazing. So. Mrs. Page makes all things possible.
Tell Mrs. Page that a lot of us already make our own laundry detergent too.
Yeah?
When you move into Arizona.
What did it say?
What's that?
When you move into Arizona.
Oh, man. Everybody says that. When you moving to New Hampshire? When you moving to Texas?
Oh yeah, we all need our place in the
You know what I like about Indiana? It is quiet, and there are no nuclear power plants. It's fairly free. It's an open carry state. There's basically no homeschool regulations whatsoever. We homeschool all the kids. And
All right.
oh yeah, I think homeschooling's fun. We're having a lot of fun with it. You know, when I was 4, I think I was just like glued to the TV watching Nickelodeon. You know, and you know my 4-year-old can identify every organ in the human body and tell you what each one does and how they all connect and how each one helps the other. You know what I mean? Like he's 4, and I can say, "Where's Nicaragua?" And he'll point to it on a map. Like, I don't think I could find Nicaragua. They're just awesome. It's yeah, right. It's just so awesome. I love being a dad. It's the best thing ever. And they're the reason I do this. You know, I didn't really, like I told you guys earlier tonight, I didn't really care before, and it wasn't like like I was an asshole, didn't care. I didn't even know to care. But once they came along, it was like a game changer.
That was
And
loud.
that's a perfect segue actually to my next song. So I guess what year is it? 2013. 3 years ago in April, I was on a plane, and this was a pivotal moment in my life. I had this massive realization, and 30,000 feet in the air is not the place to have a massive realization about your life. And I realized that speaking against the government publicly, being an activist, it doesn't always wind you up in the best situation. And it occurred to me for the first time for real that, wow, I could die doing this. I could be in prison doing this eventually as things get worse. If what I think is happening, which it is, I'm putting myself at risk here, big time. And we had just the 2 boys at the time. And they were little, and I started thinking about them. Really, I could see them, almost touch them, in my mind. And I said, how are they going to learn how to be men as they grow up if I'm not there? What's that going to be? What's that going to do to them and their life and their perception? And so I I had a pad of paper, and I wrote them a letter, and I told them who I was, and what I believe, and
Wow.
what I wanted them to do.
Good idea.
And I put it away, and a year later, the day before I went to record my album, this was in July of 2011, I pulled the letter out. Something told me to get it out, and I read it. And it was like, did you ever see A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe? When he has like these words just jump out at him, like they glow. I had that experience. It was really interesting. And I was like, oh my God, that's a lyric. Oh, that's a lyric too. And it was just, I didn't write it in poetry or in rhyme or anything. It was just an honest letter. And then it just became a song. And the music was just kind of hanging around up here. I just grabbed it, and the next day I went in and recorded it. So this is called The Message of Freedom.
Tracy.
Sons, as I write you this letter, of days past and days yet to come, and the message of freedom, the message of freedom. I stand at the edge of the pages of history, and lessons unlearned. It feels like these pages are remaining unturned, but boys, it's no mystery. Children, I'm sorry to leave you this world in a state of disaster. It was given to me in a similar state, and I woke up so late in the game. Now it's spiraling faster. Is freedom's the answer? What's the question? Resist the advances of force and aggression, and leave to your children the promise of something more. As God is my witness, I'll be a slave no more. Boys, listen close, for our souls may depend on the actions we take and the causes we choose to defend. So treat every man as a friend, and live your own lives in their divine processions, and transform your world with your selfless expressions, and reach out your hands. In time you'll understand. Children, one day I'll be gone, and you'll have to remember these words, and be strong as you cling to each other, your family, your faith, and your father's song. You've known this all along. 'Cause freedom's the answer. What's the question? Resist the advances of force and aggression, and leave to your children the promise of something more. As God is my witness, I'll be a slave no more. The message of freedom endured every tyrant or second-rate despot the world's ever known, and for one simple reason, the people have kept it alive. Oh, and with no end in sight, to the level of violence that then in high places will sink for the silence. The will of the people in you, it must survive. freedom's the answer. What's the question? Resist the advances of force and aggression, and leave to your children the promise of something more. As God is my witness, I'll be a slave no more. Freedom's the answer. What's the question? Resist the advances of force and aggression, and leave to your children the promise of something more. As God is my witness, I'll be afraid no more. Is life so dear? Oh, peace so sweet, to be purchased with chains from our necks to our feet. Forbid this, Lord, I know not what is left, but give me liberty, oh, give me death. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. So yeah. Thank you also very much for your support tonight. You know, I'm doing these shows on donations, and it's really rewarding when, you know, we all come together as a group, and you guys are helping me to get from place to place. You're buying diapers, you know, you're helping me to continue to spread the message, you know. And even though this isn't really downtime, because there's no such thing as downtime, the bad guys don't take a break, and neither can we. But as far as like all the hoopla and fervor, everyone's, you know, gets really excited during presidential seasons, but, you know, the struggle never stops, and, you know, neither can I. And I just really appreciate all your financial support tonight very much, and it means a lot to me and helps me to keep on going, keep on trucking. So thank you very much. Any requests? I'm a nice guy, I promise. You can ask me for requests.
What artist do you like?
Well, there's this guy named Jordan Page. He's awesome. I'm gonna play one of his songs. Actually, that little spiel was actually a perfect segue to this song that I'm gonna play for you now. I should have just stayed in the key I was in.